happening, everybody? My name is Rigo and this is Suave Tech. I'm bringing you tech videos every single week, and today I wanted to talk to you about the WYZE Cam Outdoor. So one of the reasons I chose this camera instead of the regular camera that they have, which by the way they have quite a few options actually, is because this is a newer product. Just came out I believe last October. And one of the things I wanted to do was kind of give it my real review type thing. So I've been using it for a few months actually, and I've only had to charge it one time, and it's actually been up there for a couple of months without me having to charge it. So that's one of the big upsides of this camera actually, is that it has a huge battery, or at least a big enough battery to last it for a few months. Let's dive into some of the features. So one of the big features of this is, it's an outdoor cam. A lot of times you have to plug up a camera, you have to, have some kind of circuitry, and this one you don't have to do that. So it charges via micro USB, and so you're able to charge it up, and then actually it magnetically adheres to the base that you screw onto the house. So it's really easy to pop on and off if you need to charge it. You don't have to worry about taking the whole base down and making sure that you charge the whole entire thing. Then you have to put it up there again. So it's really nice that they thought about that. Now, that being said, it is easier to steal, obviously. I highly doubt, or even if somebody does steal it, they're gonna have them on camera. And the good thing about this camera is that it's not expensive. And so one of the things I'm going to show you today is the packaging of the WYZE Cam Outdoor, but that's the added on camera. So if you're going to buy the actual starter bundle, what it's going to come with is that camera plus the base station. So you need the base station in order to operate this. It plugs directly into your router using an Ethernet port. The setup process is really easy. You just go in, it actually say you got a new camera, and you go ahead and add it to whatever else you have in the WYZE ecosystem. Again, one of the things I like about these is that they're pretty inexpensive. If you're going to go ahead and just get an extra camera, it's $10 cheaper. It's about 40 bucks as opposed to $50 for the starter bundle. And that way you don't have to spend a ton of money if you do want a security system. Now, they do have the option, I don't personally partake in it, but they do have the option of live monitoring. And so if you want somebody to be watching your house 24/7, more than just yourself, which I don't feel the need to do, but some people do, you can go ahead and do that. I'll throw a link for everything I talk about in the description below. But let's move on from here. So right out of the box, what you're going to notice, it is a pretty big camera, and it's also heavy. That it magnetically adheres to the base, and so the base is it just pops right on. However, this is a pretty strong magnet. So if you take the camera off the base, and you notice on the bottom of it, it's where you put the SD card. If you ever do want to use it, you don't have to use it with this camera, but if you ever do want to use it, that's a possibility. Another thing you'll notice on the bottom is the sync button. And so one of the things I would do is, out of the box, you're going to want to charge your camera, and so as soon as you plug it up, you can go ahead and you can sync it with the app. And then on the back, you're going to find another kind of sealed off flap where once you open it, you're going to go ahead and charge it with the micro USB cord that it came with. The nice thing about this is that it actually comes with a power brick as well, so if you don't have one laying around, right out of the box it has one. Another thing that's going to be under that flap next to that micro USB port is a physical on and off switch. And so you're going to be able to turn this on and off whenever you want. Go ahead and put it in the off position while you're charging it in your house, pop it on, pop it back on the base station, and go on about your day. And then on the bottom as well, you'll find a speaker, and then there's a microphone on the front as well so that you can hear them. Also in the box, you're going to find a couple of different screws so you can go ahead and screw it into your house. So this camera is IP65 rated. So what that means is you cannot submerge this camera. So that's really important to know and understand. If you're trying to do some underwater shooting, this is not the camera for you. But the good thing about this camera is that you can take it places because it's outdoor. It's weather resistant. You can take it other places. Again, just because you can't submerge it doesn't mean you can't do some other rigorous activities. It works really well with keeping water out that's splashed on it from any direction. The way that you charge it actually is covered by a rubber flap, and so you just go ahead and charge and you push that rubber flap back in, and it should seal everything off. But one of the things that IP65 rating does get you is complete oil and dust proof, and so you don't have to worry about years down the line, unless there's maybe a crack in it or something like that. You might have to check it out, but years down the line, you don't have to worry about it getting all extra dusty, a lot of other dirt and oil getting inside of your camera. It should last you for a very long time. So it does have a time-lapse feature, so you can go ahead and take your time lapses, set it up in whatever place you want, and take that video. You can take this with you, this camera, so you charge it up. Need a micro SD card if you're going to be able to use this offline. And so one of the things you can do is, even if you're out in the wilderness, let's say you're in a tent, maybe you want to get some pictures of wildlife or something like that, you can use this offline. It'll record directly to that micro USB card, so you shouldn't have any issues. So let's talk a little bit about the features of this camera. So with this camera, even though it's only about 40 bucks, $50 with the base station, but $40 after you get an extra camera. It comes with a lot of great features, and that's one of the reasons I like WYZE, is because I don't feel like they're overcharging you for what you're getting. A lot of these companies, I also do have a Ring doorbell. A lot of these companies, I feel like they overcharge. That Ring doorbell was hugely expensive. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I like it. However, the battery does not last as long as my WYZE cam. Now, granted, it's not recording, in quite such a busy area. And WYZE, by the way, does have their own doorbell that you can get. I don't have it. I might think about getting it though. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know in the comments below. That being said, with WYZE, everything, and I think this is a part of just, them as a whole, everything that they do is, simple, and it actually works for people. It's in a price point where a lot of people can afford it. There are indoor cameras that, I also have. Those are $20. I mean, that's not a lot of money for an indoor camera. But this outdoor cam, it obviously can add up if you're spending $40 on cameras, which, by the way, you can only hook up 3 additional cameras with 1 base station. So if you're planning on getting a lot more cameras, you're gonna have to get another starter bundle and get that base station. Anyway, some of the other features of this camera, it records in full HD. One of the things that actually I wish it had that it doesn't is the constant recording. So when I put a micro SD card in my indoor cameras, it records every single thing that goes on. Now, it has its limitations, maybe a few days, maybe a week. Past that, I can't go further back, but that's a really good feature. With this outdoor cam, it does have motion tracking. That's one of the features that you can turn on and off. You don't have to have it on. I have this up around the house and it captures things. One of the ways it captures is with PIR, or passive infrared, and it's really designed to make sure that it's capturing people, animals, and it's not capturing inanimate objects. Things like, leaves blowing in the wind, tree branches waving in front of it, which is actually a good point because the Ring doorbell that I do have a tree that's not that far away from it and a tree branch that hangs pretty low, and it constantly picks that up. And I had to play around with the different features of the app to give it like a certain dead zone so it didn't pick that up. With this, I don't have any problem. Cars going by, leaves blowing in the wind. It's only picked up, as far as I've seen, it's only picked up people or animals. So that's one of the great features of this camera, and that's one of the things I'm talking about when it comes to added features with this camera. You're gonna get more than the competition, and at a far lesser price. I want you guys to be mindful of that. You don't have to spend a ton of money, you don't have to break the bank just to get home security. Recordings can be saved to the cloud. It's free of charge for 14 days. After that, it's only a few dollars a month. Again, you're not breaking the bank just to get some storage. You can also put a micro SD card in this camera as well, so be mindful of that. But again, you're not getting that constant recording like you are the indoor cameras. So another thing I want to talk about is when you put this camera up, it actually has 2-way audio, and what you can do is you can talk with people and they can hear you, you can hear them. So that's a great feature, if you want to ward off people that actually, trying to break into your house. Again, this doesn't require any hard wiring. It doesn't require any, outlets being close by. So that's one of the great features of this camera. And like I said, it lasts for months. Another thing that I like about this camera is that there's night vision. And so you're able to see a lot of different things at night. And again, for this price, it's ridiculous that you get these kind of features. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. Again, I'm going to try and bring you tech videos every single week. I hope that you have a great start to this year. And I hope there's going to be many more of these videos to come. I'm out.